Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I am Mike.
And today, Sunday Funday.
Sunday Funday.
So Sunday Funday today. What are we doing? Today's Sunday Funday is brought to you by Javier Acosta. Thanks you for sending this in.
Thank you very much.
He wanted us to do these as a blind. So these are totally 100% blind to us. We have no idea. I only have the sample bottles out. He was nice enough to send all the information in the sealed keys that are right here. So we're going to do the Sunday Funday. And then we're going to reveal what we actually have. You're going to see the thumbnail. You're going to probably see bottles. I'm going to rip them off the internet or somehow put them on there. But we're going to have to be just drinking it totally blind.
And we are going A, B, C, D.
I put them in just like that. So glass one is A, B, C, D. So,
Got it.
So I put them there so I wouldn't forget, the order it went. Not a bad nose.
Nope.
So there was no Mike pour, no nothing. I literally poured in A, put it in A. Poured in B, put it in B.
Mike walked in.
That's it. Oh, I'm liking this, though. Got a little something to it.
She definitely has something there, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetness in the start.
It was, actually.
It was a sweet, but it definitely holds
No,
its own.
it definitely has a
It
proof
didn't
to
whisper
though.
away to nothing.
No.
Because it's still there.
I'm trying to think in my head. This is going to be a tricky one on here, but we don't have to try to guess what we're drinking. We literally have to just guess which one we like best. So,
Well, it's not a bad start.
but I'm trying to guess what we're drinking just for fun. This didn't bring a ton of familiarity on the first sip.
I'm with you. And it worked. The
There
nose
was
was
a-
good. Well, the nose is getting better, actually, now.
It was definitely a sugary sweetness right in the front of that, though.
There is.
I like that a lot, whatever that might be. That has a very good viscosity.
It definitely does hang on.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a mad ride.
No, that sweetness stays throughout the whole flavor, for sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you're at.
Right.
It may turn into a little maple or something, but right now it's
Some
just
dope
kind of
forgot his
sweetness.
drink on the other side of the table, so I cleanse my palate. All right.
That one definitely holds on though.
Mm-hmm. That's a good start.
It was a very good start.
The last one was a good start.
A little bit different nose.
Oh, a lot bit different nose.
What is it? There's something unique in there though. Definitely stood
Off
out.
the nose, I want to say it's a rum. Yeah, like it has that I don't know how to describe it.
sweetness?
Almost
I
like
don't know if it
that
had that much sweetness,
sugar cane sweetness with the almost a the burnt matchstick.
I know where you're going.
I'm gonna
But
have
I
to
don't know
take
if you
a
have that much sweetness. But
All right. Ooh, that's tasty.
that almost has a sweet to a nut. That wasn't just a plain sweetness. You didn't get a nut in that.
I didn't get the nut. I
It's
got
almost like the middle. Well,
I got a ginormous concentration of flavor though. It got off of the rum idea where it had that smell though.
I don't know if that was maybe even wood.
I'd be more up with your wood. I didn't get a nut.
Yeah,
It does taste like the whole end. There was a huge sweetness in the front of this though.
Yes, but then it went to. Let me see if it's a nut or an oak. But
I like every part of that. The amount of flavor that came off of this one though, it doesn't drink as hot as one did. It's still proof. It's more down in your throat though. I mean, in my mouth. You know what I mean?
Like I could probably go with what he's trying to say. It has more flavors though.
Yes. Man, it really has a rum smell to it though.
I'm leaning towards I like that one a little bit better. Right in the get go coming from B is higher than A in my brain right this second, but that definitely sticks on too. There might be that light residue of oak on the end of that too.
There's a heavy residue of oak on the end of that actually. That finishes hard with oak. Man,
so it was a nice red because it was sweetness to a light nut to a little oak finish. So down, I like that one.
I take that back. When I took a bigger sip this time because I'm trying to keep it because
Well,
we got small pours. You know what I mean?
know that's what I've been
So
doing.
I've been trying to do baby sips, but man, when you swish that around and you coat that thing lasts for days.
I know
That has a great finish.
until you take the water.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Even still, it still has a little hang time there. So it was very good.
I agree. I like that one a little bit better. One was more of just that sweetness that you had.
It was kind of it was more of a one note. I didn't get a variety pack in that one. I don't know. This nose might be almost same as one.
Similar. I'm almost wondering if 2 is almost like high in age or almost like a double oak because it definitely brought a lot more of the oaky flavor.
Not much nose in C.
Oh, that's good in its own way too. I will probably screw up when I'm editing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, which will be A, B, C, D. I guess that's how we labeled them. But if I'll try to remember the letters instead of the numbers. I think 2 had a better viscosity. 2 brought a little more flavor to the table. Not that 3 is a slouch by any means.
No, but
it very good.
It actually does seem to be a little easier.
Yeah.
This one might even have maybe the most nut in it.
I'm not getting any of your nut today. But sometimes it takes me longer
I was gonna
to
say,
get
usually,
it.
you don't usually. We're not on the same page usually right off the bat.
You said nut though. Now I can almost get it because you said it in my head.
It's not bad, but I think 2 hangs on the most.
Oh, I agree. I think 2 had the best viscosity. I think this is in a running with 1.
It may,
but I think 2 stepped above it.
I'm with you. And that might have a light oak residue in the end, like the drizzle on the side right now.
Yeah.
It may have that dangle in there. Again,
3 out of 4 great pours so far. I just want to state that for the fact. There's not a loser so far. I can tell you that.
It's not an outlier either, really.
It's going to be a battle. No, not yet.
Maybe like a light fruit in this one. Again, light fruit.
No.
Holy Christ.
Maybe I'm
either my
today.
imagination's going
I was gonna
today.
say either I don't get it. Not yet. I mean, you say fruit, and then I say, okay, let's smell for a fruit. And then I'd be like, I could smell an orange or something. You know what I mean? Like if something will pop into my head, like get an orange zest or something. But I didn't get that before you said it.
I'm more in like a grape land.
I was more getting like that sugary sweetness that I got off of 2. Oh man, that is another good one.
This has a different end flavor. Actually, this may have the most oak in it.
Think so? I still
this
think
one,
2 did.
This one sits. This one sits. Because that was a baby sip, and this one sits. This might be the proofiest one because it's sitting right in my throat pretty good. And these are all been baby sips.
Right. No, I know. I'm trying to save it for the way back.
Yeah, because I know you got a knick-knack, and I'm going to be screwed sitting here looking at an empty glass.
Mm. I got to be honest with you. He said, just so you know, this might be a high blind. Do you think these could all be like hazmat?
You think? The weird thing is, the hazmats the two that we've done, did drink fairly light compared to what I thought a 140 would be at.
That's what I'm thinking in my head. But man, I'll tell you what, these are 4 great pours. I kind of have the same exact thing as you. I think 2 and 4s.
D might have the bigger boom at the end for me, but 2's right there. I don't know.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to cleanse our palate. We'll be back in 1 second. All right, so we are back. We're going to start on the right, work our way left. Well, that didn't hurt. That little sitting down over there didn't hurt it on the nose by any means.
And it may caramelize out a little bit.
For whatever they are, I will say, you know, he did say they were high proof and they could just be regular, the 120, 130, whatever it is. None of them have burnt my nose hairs, like
No.
where you're just getting ethanol out of the glass.
I'll agree with you 100%.
They're all full
A couple of the
flavored.
bookers have done that before
Right.
to us, where
You got to back off a little bit.
well, that nose takes forever to kick in.
Correct.
These had a nose to start, so
But it hasn't been like to smell it. I'm not thinking high proof just to smell it. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, it's tingling my nose hairs. It's burning me up. None of them have done that.
Mm-mm. I don't know. This is actually a good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And this one sticks around. This is going to be tough.
I got more sweetness on that one.
I get the huge sweet
Yeah.
to like a light nut to a nice oak drizzle in the end. It's not a bad little ride for me.
After it sat like this, it didn't drink, and it could be because I cleansed my palate too, and it's the first one. It didn't drink as hot as it did on the way through.
I might almost say the same thing. It is because we had the 3, and then this was kind of the end follow, so it did kind of hit with a katoon, but it's still tasty. I'm going to leave that one where it was. It's got legs out the kazoo. Now I can finally see where the legs are.
I can actually talk myself into almost stuff. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I was listening, but
I almost could talk myself into it. Like it started giving me like a fruity sweetness. I could almost talk myself into like a Buffalo Trace product on that one, but
I wasn't really getting butterscotch on that though.
No, but I remember when we did the stag and we did the foolproof that came up in one of the blinds the other day. I didn't get the butterscotch either, but I definitely got that fruity aspect.
This one has a sugarier nose.
This is hard.
I could almost say this has more like a brown sugar nose on.
Yes,
this one.
I'll go with that. I was thinking the fruity lightness on 4. I'm getting more of a concentration of flavor
with
so
a light
far on the
caramel
nose.
though on that one.
I liked every part of that. I liked
I'm almost
every part
already out, and we're.
Right off the bat, you get more of an oaky presence with 3 than you did with 4.
I'm with and D was a little sweeter.
Sorry, 3, 4, 8, C, and D. Yes, that's where
This
the fruity part came in.
Oh,
Man,
now I don't know which one I like better now.
I think I'm leaning towards 3.
It seems to have.
This is going to come down to the last drop.
Seems to be hanging on a little bit longer too.
Yeah,
I may have to reevaluate. I may have to.
I agree. I think I'm doing the same thing because I can actually smell the oak on 3 compared to on the way through. I thought it was less, but
it's definitely a nice oak finish in that one. Oh, they're both very good.
You know, that's the funny thing, and I say this all the time, and you guys do your blinds any way you want to do your blinds. I think it makes a difference going one way and then coming back, because coming off a 2, 3 felt like it didn't have any oak, and now coming off a 4, it seems like it has way more oak.
I agree.
You know, that's why then we're going to go back and go 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Well, it's going to be tough today because I'm going to run out, but I'm going to try to still knick-knack it.
Nose got a weird. It's got not weird in a bad way, but it has like.
This is the oakiest one.
I was going to say it's got the powdered sugar.
Yeah, I swear this is a double oak. This is the oakiest. I told you on the way through.
I did already say that, but it's just, now it's like the huge powdered sugar, which tends to lead me that it has more.
Yeah, I said it's either like got big age to it,
which is weird. Why would powdered sugar remind me of like a oak?
I don't know.
Which is weird, but it seems to always work this way for me. My little M&M brain I got going on.
Oh, that's delicious.
Oh, see, there's more flavors in this one.
Yeah, it's like a caramel,
nice
coated oak. Oh no, a huge oaky presence in this one. And I think out of all of them so far, it has the best viscosity. Most oily,
drizzly effect.
Yep.
So it has a sweetness to the caramel to a nice oak drizzle. And it just definitely drizzles off the end of my tongue. That's
definitely a front runner for me.
I'm with you. It's going to be hard to knick-knack. I ain't got much knick-knacking going on. And I've been doing baby sips.
I had to get another sip in there. That is one of the most, like, that actually hit the back of my lip and it stuck there. Like, it is the most viscous one that in the finish just just tingles on you for days. It just sits in your mouth.
I'm listening. I'm just trying to.
No, I know you
figure out
jumped
what-
onto the next one, so
Nah,
I'm gonna.
I
I don't want
didn't
to clear
sip it.
my throat because it is so good. Two is my front runner for sure.
I'm there.
And again, you guys might already know what we're doing because I'll probably run the bottles with it. I'll get them either. He'll send them to me or I'll rip them off the internet. But this nose got way better too, though.
There was something. Oh,
There's a hint of a grain in this one. You know how like in the front, like sometimes you get like a on this one.
there's
I
a
didn't
hint
get
of a heat with this one.
no, I didn't get that with all the other ones. But
In the nose?
yeah, it hasn't brought me fully to like when I say like a wet hay, but it's almost like I can smell like a wheat or rye in it, like that like it's like a grainy
If this is
smell.
a weeder, it'd be one of the hottest weeders we've had. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that other one a weeder?
Yeah, it was actually. Now that you say that, but it didn't drink like.
Well, I'll be shocked if this isn't though. This has like a different flavor than the other ones. Like
I'm with you on
Yeah.
that. It does have a different flavor, and it does seem to still. It sits with a little boom.
yeah, but not in a bad way. I don't
I
want
think the viscosity though is better on two.
Oh, 100%. I agree with that. I think this can compete with the other two, but it's definitely bringing me a secondary flavor that I didn't get out of these. And I don't 100% sure know what it is. I wouldn't be shocked though if this is like a
weeder.
weeder, just because it's bringing me
Don't have the nose of like a Maker's though.
no, but it's bringing me a little bit different of a complexity.
I don't know. I'm very shy in the knick-knack land.
Mm-hmm.
So I look over at yours. You get it lined up the same way. But that's all right.
I like that a lot right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better than 2 or 3.
I don't know. We're going to have to put one
and
against
4.
3 and one against 4 and see where it comes out. So we're going to pause it for it. It'll be 1 second for you. We'll be back in a second. All right, so we are back. And first and foremost, Javier, thank you so much for this blind.
Immensely.
These are 4
Delicious.
right up there with some of the better bottles we've drank so far on the channel. These are 4. I'd give every one of them an A+. There's nothing lacking in any one of these. Each one of them came off a little bit different. This was hard to pick which one you like better. Because like you said.
Of the 4, you are correct.
Yeah, like you said. I mean, I think 2 was hands down was my favorite.
I agree.
But like 3 and 4 or C and D were kind of like interchangeable depending on the minute. So
we were running out of samples for the samples.
You guys have seen it. We have not. So I'm curious to see on there. So again, not a loser on the table.
No, they were all
Thank
delicious.
you very much for this. This is great. So, but what we graded last place was what was in glass D.
By this much.
And what do I have? All right, I want to look at that. I look like an A when I did it this way. It is D. I want to make sure I do it right. And this is, wow, this is a Russell's Reserve 15 year, said to be a blend of 15 and 16 year bourbon. Comes in at 117 proof. It's a 2024 release. He actually paid $250 and it's open for 9 months. That didn't bring Russell's to me. We tried to save a little bit so we can have, but again, absolutely delicious.
It
and
was
we
delicious.
said 4 drank the most refined out of 3 and 4. 3 was a little more punchy, but we liked it today.
I did like it.
It drank a little bit more
It
punchy
had like
today.
a little Ezra aggressiveness. We did say 4 was pretty refined.
Right. So, all right, let's see what so our third place glass was in glass number 3.
Barely.
No. Again, there's not a loser on the table.
out there.
I would hands down grab any one of these. And this one is, you threw out not a bunch, but I didn't get it. This is a Knob Creek single barrel store pick, 14 year, 10 months aged Kentucky bourbon at 120 proof. That is a long one. I've never seen one that old.
No, but
It's a 2020 release picked by Worldwide Wine and Spirits in Southington, Connecticut. Good for them. Paid about $65, open for 3 years. And again, that one was a little bit more punchy, but man, it was just so good in all ways.
170, 120, but I don't know. It was delicious.
No, again, not a loser on the table for sure.
And
So
we're always a huge fan of a knob store.
yeah, it didn't bring as much of the nut that we usually get off of there, but we did say it had a nice oaky presence, so that's the key. So our second place glass was in glass number A. I'm going to say 1. I know I said the numbers on there, but it's A, and I got A right here. I apologize when you
Thank you for
get used to
typing these all out. That is just like
yes.
perfect.
So this is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C917. 917. It's a 12-year minimum aged Kentucky bourbon. Back when they did that, 131 proof, a 2017 relief. They paid $90 in 2024. It's open for 6 months, and man, we don't have any of the older Elijahs.
No,
but this it's funny because on this one I was getting like that. I was getting that wheat. Grainy, I call it wheat, but it could be the rye. It's a grainy flavor in there, and a lot of times that'll turn me off of it, but not this time. This actually was just delicious in all ways, and I actually liked it because it brought another flavor to the table that 3 and 4 didn't do, or C and D. Sorry. And our winner today, I'm curious to see what it is. I knew you were going to do that. That's a Jack Daniels. Oh my God, Jack Daniels 14-year batch 1.
wow.
So, I've been saying, we haven't seen one, and Steve's been on the lookout for it. So it's a 14-year minimum age Tennessee whiskey, 126.3 release, 126.3 proof. It's a 2025 release. Paid $165. It's been open for 3 weeks. And I'm going to see now.
I didn't.
Yeah, no. So smell it. That's the funniest thing about doing a blind. When you have no clue what you're actually doing. Because now that I know it's Jack, I'm getting banana and nuts. But
see, I don't get the banana, so that's like
the
doesn't matter. But all I know is we picked it as one. So
this is the reason why I like doing things blind, because if I knew there was a Jack Daniels on the table, I would have eventually scouted this out. I would have found it. It's just, but again, as Jack haters when we started this channel,
that is fun.
3 and change.
That is
it
fun.
is hands down the best bottle that we've drank today. So someone was just asking about the Jack 14, and thank you very much for sending this in. I do not think we're going to ever get one because we have a hard time up here in Massachusetts, but this is
I'm not paying $500 for the thing.
I know, right? So that's the thing. When they do come up here, all our stores like to mock them up crazy. This is absolutely delicious. This was an excellent blind.
It was fantastic.
Yes, if anyone can find any of these bottles, I wanted to see the proof again. 126. Man, it is the fullest, easiest drinker on the table by far.
It was the most flavorful.
I will be getting in touch with you again. Trust me on that. But this is phenomenal. Thank you very much for sending these in. And this is a great blind because I do like it. It's 100% the whiskey in the glass. That's all.
It is that.
That's all it is.
And they were all very good.
No, yeah. Again,
we have them staggered just so I can remember where we're at. And then if he asks me later, I try not to touch them because sometimes there can be confusion. But we have it down pat.
No, right.
And they were all very good.
No,
and it doesn't surprise me that one pulled off for us.
It doesn't, because we do like the Brown-Forman profile usually, even when we don't get it. And that's the funniest thing.
Well, we had that like up front right in the beginning.
No. It has the most flavor, the best viscosity.
It does. Viscosity is probably
it hangs on
exactly
the longest beyond all of them. Has the best finish. So, and not that, again, none of these are bad. No. That was definitely the winner. So there you go. Thank you again for sending these in. I can't thank you enough. This was an awesome blind. 4 great bottles. You guys can leave a comment down below if you've tried any of these, and there you go. That's our Sunday Fun Day, and Subscribe to Sample Saturday all in one, because we did it on Sunday because it was a blind. That being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.